Jesus made this statement in Matthew's Gospels, and it's this. He says, many are called and few are chosen. And what I've learned is that discipleship is this process of not trying to become something, but of learning, not trying to become something, but learning to agree with how God saw you before the world began. And there's a brilliance that God saw in all of humanity before the world began. And there's a brilliance to do impossible things and express the very nature of God that would cause the world around us to shudder at the works of God operating through us. But it is our choice and our responsibility inside of Christ of what we choose that determines if we will produce that type of fruit while we walk here on the earth. And I've learned that stewardship is such an important part of this process. Are we properly taking care of the things that God has put in front of us? Are we properly learning to live out biblical truths? Are we properly seeing truths in God's word that we've not yet seen manifest, but believing God for them to take place? So I believe that we decide the extent in which we will become into mature sons and daughters of God. And I believe that this is a season where the Lord is inviting his people to mature into everything he's called us to be. And I believe that Jesus, the righteous judge, will judge us for what he called us to do. Not the religious works we did, but for what he calls us to do. And we want to be like David. We want to serve our generation well. Why is it important that we mature? Why is it important that we learn to become everything God has already set us to be? Because the world deserves it. Our family deserves it. The generations that come after us deserve it. Jesus deserves the full measure of what he died to give us. So I encourage you to walk and to embrace the walk of walking maturely. It is certainly not easy. It is certainly not for the faint of heart. You'll need great boldness, but through God's help, you can become the mature son and daughter God created you to be.